Consider the following reaction. Hydrogen gas plus iodine gas gives hydrogen iodide gas. It is run at a temperature of 800 Kelvin in this problem, and it's an equilibrium reaction. The initial partial pressures are all 0.2 atmosphere. What are the equilibrium partial pressures of all species? Ideal gas behavior may be assumed. Use the thermochemical properties given below. What is given here are the standard specific entropies of formation of each species and the standard specific enthalpies of formation of each species. Specific properties are denoted with a hat to be clear and to distinguish between total properties, which would not have the hat. So thermochemical data that has a hat above it are on a per mole or per mass basis. In this case, they're per mole. Proceeding now with the solution. Okay. From the thermochemical property data, the standard Gibbs free energy change of the reaction may be computed using the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation at a temperature of 298.15 Kelvin, which is 25 degrees Celsius. The Gibbs-Helmholtz equation is delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Okay. And I will be applying it at standard state because the standard enthalpies of formation and the standard entropies of formation were given. The delta H of the reaction is equal to the summation over all the species I of nu sub I multiplied by the standard enthalpies of formation of each species. The nu sub I are simply the stoichiometric coefficients of each species. So for hydrogen, nu sub I is -1. For iodine, nu sub I is -1. And for HI, nu sub I is +2. So applying this equation with the standard enthalpies of formation given, okay, will result in a standard delta H of reaction of -9.4 kilojoules per mole. Likewise, the standard entropy change of the reaction is equal to the summation over all the species I, nu sub I, times the standard entropies of formation of species I. Again, H2 nu sub I is -1, for I2 nu sub I is -1, and for HI nu sub I is +2. So again, multiplying and adding all this out will give a delta S of the reaction of 21.7 joules per mole Kelvin. Now it is a simple matter to obtain the standard Gibbs free energy change of that reaction, which is equal to delta H minus T delta S, a T of 298.15. When that is multiplied out, the standard Gibbs free energy change of that reaction is -15,869.855 joules per mole. Now, the Gibbs free energy change of the reaction at any temperature and pressure is given by the following equation. Delta G of reaction is equal to the standard delta G of reaction plus RT ln of K, where K is a reaction constant. I'm going to repeat this and be a little more slow as I repeat it. In general, the Gibbs free energy change of the reaction at any temperature and pressure is equal to the standard Gibbs free energy change of that reaction plus RT ln of K. The reaction constant K has the same mathematical form or functional form as the equilibrium constant. Now, when the reaction reaches equilibrium, the delta G of the reaction is equal to 0. Okay. When the delta G of the reaction is equal to 0, the standard delta G of the reaction is therefore equal to -RT ln of KEQ. And at equilibrium, the reaction constant is simply becomes the equilibrium constant. In other words, it's the reaction constant written at equilibrium. And the equilibrium constant KEQ at the temperature of the problem statement, which is 800 Kelvin, can therefore be computed, and it's computed below. right here. So ln of KEQ is equal to negative standard delta G of reaction divided by RT. So negative of the delta G, standard delta G of reaction, which is here, divided by RT, R 8.314 joules per mole Kelvin, T 800 Kelvin. Okay, note how the units all cancel out. And we have that ln of KEQ is equal to 2.38614. So KEQ is simply e raised to that power. So e raised to this power is equal to 10.870077. With a K this large, this simply means that the reaction proceeds mostly from the left to the right. So it proceeds mostly toward the product side, toward the formation of HI gas. Now, to determine the expression for KEQ, a mole table is constructed for the reaction as written. So I'm rewriting the reaction here, reaction as written. In general, at any time, the final moles of species I is equal to the initial moles of species I plus nu sub I times the extent of reaction. Again, the nu sub i's are the stoichiometric coefficients of the species as per the reaction as written. So for H2, nu sub I is -1. For I2, nu sub I is -1. And for HI, again, nu sub I is +2. This Greek letter here, it looks like a fancy E. It's a zeta. It's extent of reaction in moles. Now, likewise, partial pressures of each species may be used instead of moles in a quote-unquote mole table. When that is done, the expression is simply that the final moles of species I, its final pressure of species I, clearly the final partial pressure of species I is equal to the initial partial pressure of species I plus nu sub I times extent of reaction. But now the extent of reaction is on a pressure basis. So here, extent of reaction is in units of pressure. And because the initial partial pressures were given, so the mole table will be written in terms of species partial pressures. So we have initially the species partial pressures are all 0.2, and at equilibrium, which is the final state here, at equilibrium, the species partial pressures are then for H2 0.2 minus extent, I2 0.2 minus extent, and HI 0.2 plus 2 times the extent. Just a little aside, note that if the summation of all the equilibrium partial pressures is done, it turns out that it's 0.6 atmosphere. So in other words, the total pressure never changes. And well, this could already have been seen because the total number of moles of gas remains constant. You have 2 moles of gaseous species as a reactant and 2 moles of gaseous species as a product. Okay. So now for ideal gases, the equilibrium constant is equal to, again, the products, continued product of the products raised to their respective stoichiometric coefficients. So in words, I didn't write it down mathematically, it's the continued product of the species partial pressures raised to their stoichiometric coefficients. So it would be P of HI raised to the second power times P of H2 raised to the -1 power, so it's in the denominator, times P of I2 raised to the -1 power, so it's in the denominator. Okay, so this is the form of Kp, which is KEQ in this case, but Kp equals KEQ at equilibrium. So when the derived expressions in terms of extent are substituted into this expression for Kp, this is the form of Kp. So it's 0.2 plus 2 EP quantity squared divided by 0.2 minus extent quantity squared. Again, the partial pressure of H2 is equal to the partial pressure of I2. They have exact same form. Now, there are two ways to solve this. One can either multiply it all out and use the quadratic equation, or simply bring the denominator up to here and take the square root of both sides and make sure to get the positive and the negative root. The way it's been solved here is that the quadratic equation has been used. So everything is multiplied out and all of the terms are collected, and when that is done, it can be put into the form to be used for the quadratic equation. So therefore, the extent of reaction is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. When that is done, a simplified expression is obtained. Now, alternately, in such a problem, the problem statement could have read, determine the extent of reaction in terms of the equilibrium constant. So in that case, this would be the answer prior to substitution. Here are the two roots. We have then the positive root and the negative root. And when the value for Kp, which is 10.87, is substituted into this equation, two roots are obtained, 0.6626 and 0.08673. Now, going back and writing again the expression for the partial pressures of each species at equilibrium, we have for hydrogen and iodine, that expression is 0.2 minus extent of reaction. So 0.2 minus 0.66 would give a negative value of pressure, which is not physically possible. So the physically possible root of the system is 0.08673. And making these substitutions into the expressions for the species partial pressures in terms of extent of reaction results in the answer as follows. The partial pressures of hydrogen and iodine are 0.133 and of HI is 0.3734 atmosphere. Now one can see that the initial quantities of each species were both 0.2 atmosphere. And because the reaction went mostly toward the product, went more toward the product side than toward the reactant side, so PHI is greater than 0.2 atmosphere. Okay, so this concludes the problem. If you have any questions about how any of this was done, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you.